Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to the Windows Nation podcast. Not really. It's really just Xbox Nation, but with a heavy Windows tint, maybe. I don't know. It's all under the same umbrella or whatever. So we're gonna just do our best to entertain you guys. Iron Wolf should be dropping back in. We've got Too Much Food, and of course Nancy and Mooch for all you Mooch maniacs. And just so you guys know, Too Much Food has to jet at around 9 Eastern, so he's only here for about 40 minutes to entertain you guys. And so I'll make sure to get the Nintendo portion that I wanted to talk about with him here, because I know he's a little bit more the Nintendo guy. But I wanted to talk a little bit about something that I've been seeing real quick, and we'll hop into some of the other stuff in a minute. Looks like all around Xbox One's getting a $50 price cut, which is pretty good news for people wanting to pick one up. I think that they probably should have, remember it was like $299 all holiday, and then they raised it back up to like $349, which they did the same thing last year. Remember how it crippled their January last year?
Mm-hmm.
But do you think $50 is enough right now?
Well, it puts it $50 cheaper than the PS4. I think that it has to stay consistently $50 cheaper, and then at that price, console gamers specifically should want to pick it up to play the console exclusives.
Well, this is ultimately crap, but this is going to be a good test. This is a great little test. Maybe it's something Microsoft's gauging, but it's something that me and you were talking about. Maybe it was offline, could have been on Xbox Nation last week. That ultimately, all this talk about PC and all that other stuff is just that, like, it all comes down to cost. So any of these hypocrites or ridiculous people on Twitter or social media that keep on saying, "Oh, well, I'll just go buy it on PC," you really won't, because like even when you see like a Dell or something that's even capable, you're 600 plus, and that's a bad version of a PC that you want to have in your home. So yeah. I mean, this is going to what a drastic spike in sales we saw last year, crap, when Xbox took the $50 drop over PlayStation, right? Xbox, I think, ended up winning that month's NPD. Yeah. So with Microsoft doing that now, it's strategic enough to say, okay, we really want to lure people in. They're doing this big February event. I'm sure it's going to be a lot of Quantum Break talk. It's going to be a lot, possibly even a little pop-in from The Division. And, why not? That's a huge ace in their pocket.
Yeah.
And, so you have those two big names coming out back-to-back, and you dropped it $50 cheaper than the competitor. I mean, at this point in time, after a while you have to say, show me the money. They are dropping the price, and Quantum Break is going to show off the power of this box. So this is a strategic move. I know we were joking around and kind of discussing what the ultimatums could have been one way or the other, but in my personal opinion, crap, there's a chance. There's a chance. I'll say 51%. At least it gives you that 1% more that they could win February and March NPD just off of the price reduction and with the games they have coming out designated just for Xbox One.
Do you know what would help though, Mooch? I think personally, if they actually put in 1 year Xbox Live Gold subscription,
they should.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Because
win.
There's people that like wait for these price drops, because there's people that are totally firm about how much they're going to spend. So when they reduce that $50, they could spend that like on another game, a remote. And there's some people that are totally aware that you got to get Xbox Live, and they might put that towards the gold. But if they do something like Iron Wolf says, I mean, you're set and you're ready to go, and you could hold on to that $50 for another game you like or whatever you want it to be. So they absolutely should do that.
Listen, here's a little tip from the Mooch. Whenever you're ordering a pizza, never order extra cheese, because when you order extra cheese, everybody in the business laughs at you. They don't put any extra cheese in there.
Yeah.
Well, they don't. They don't put any extra. I have family that owns restaurants and pizza places. Listen to me. They never give you the extra cheese, okay? So what ends up happening is you end up paying the $3.50, and you think how do you measure extra cheese from last week's pizza? Who the hell knows? Right? Yeah. So my point here is you throw the extra Xbox Live in the box. It doesn't cost them anything, but the customer's still happy. So Xbox Live is your extra cheese, people. That's really what it comes down to. Are you really getting something? You
heard
feel
it here.
like you do.
Hey,
right?
You heard it here, folks. Mooch's family's restaurant rip you
but
off.
Mooch,
Yes.
Mooch,
No,
did
it's just
your
that's
family
very
ripping people
justified
off? Because
though.
my pizza place puts extra cheese on theirs, and I've had their one without and one with, and they do put extra cheese on it.
Yeah, but is the extra cheese worth the extra $3 or $3.50?
I don't have to pay $3.50.
It's $3.50, right?
No.
All right,
What do you have to pay?
I only pay like $1.50 for it.
Well, you're lucky. If you moved to New York,
yeah.
if you go anywhere near New York City, it's $3.50 for a handful of cheese. Trust me.
Well, I know. I know. Yeah, I know that. I used to go. To New York.
Welcome to Cheese Talk.
Hey,
on
cheese
Xbox.
talk.
No, it's
Tomorrow-
about food. I'm the expert of food here.
Oh, that's
so-
right. Yeah, that's right. We were talking too much food, so.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean,
But like I'm saying, like an Xbox One purchase will be justified if they have,
Yes.
if they have free Xbox Live, Groove Music, the app itself, a whole year subscription on that,
Yeah.
and maybe like a movie every week.
Hey, look, I'm with you. Like I said this, right? I'm like, okay, look, Microsoft is making. They were making over $2 billion a year on 360 subscriptions over years ago. I think the last one I read was like 4 or 5 years ago. So if they were making $2 billion 4 or 5 years, this could be $4 billion now or more that they're making yearly.
yeah.
So I don't see them cutting this out. But what I do see what they should do is, since you're paying $60 a year, do some kind of vault service. Do the music thing, make it so you can play the music in the background or whatever, right? I mean,
that's coming in the summer, right?
Yes, yeah.
Supposed to.
I'm being upbeat. I think that they're just there's a lot of stuff going on, and they'll have the music stuff coming by the summer. Hopefully we get that update and we can just listen to the music in the background. Because you know what? The more I think about the music, I'm like, well, I don't really care about it in certain games like RPGs or something like that. But if I'm playing like Madden or Soccer Cars or Forza, you know what I mean? I don't think it would hurt to have some music that you're able to listen to in the background, just to kind of chill out to and just play a game without having to worry about crappy like techno or disco or whatever the hell they play. You know what I mean? So.
Yeah. And I heard the music feature is going to be going to PC. You're going to be able to play music on PC starting in the summer too.
Well, that could be what the wait is for. I would assume that anything that the console is going to get any kind of weight or anything would be because the PCs.
I was being sarcastic, bro. Like, because we're losing all the features.
I'm giving you the Kylo Ren fucking thumbs up right now. You just can't see it.
Yeah.
I'm giving it to you. I am. It's just it's there. But yeah, like they can afford to do this. Look, give us I understand they're trying to compete. They're breaking into this. They need to make a wave, or waves, if you will. Mooch, you know what? I was thinking about something you said the other day when we were talking about this.
Mhm.
When I was like, well, they're not giving PC owners who buy the PC version an Xbox One thing. And then I think maybe you were on to something. Maybe they might buy an Xbox One and get the Xbox One version and then use it for PC. Maybe it has a positive effect. I'm trying to think positive here.
Right. Well, I mean, the other thing I was trying to say with that whole point is actual value. What is it? Remember, before they start giving things away, Wolf and Food and me and you, we're all sitting here, Nancy, we're all talking about giving things away. Before they give things away, they sit there and they say, which actually benefits the customer in their eyes most and hurts us the least? And in essence, if you think about it, Crap, part of my whole spiel this past week has been this PC thing is a nice little feature, but it truly doesn't matter. Because when you buy the Quantum Break edition on Xbox One, you get a PC Windows 10 game for free. Well, we all know that there's not that many people with consoles PC gaming. So really what they gave you was a code. Basically, they gave you a free membership to a gym that you're never going to go to. You know what I mean? Like it's just not going to happen. Now, reverse the roles. PC players now get an Xbox One version of the game.
Yeah.
That's got a lot of black market value. You can put that code up, hide the number so you say, I have a code, blah, 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 it's certified, and you could sell it even on Craigslist. You could sell it anywhere and get 30, 40, 50 bucks. If I have a Quantum Break PC code, I can't get a fucking Dunkin' Donuts coffee. I can't do anything with it. It's not going to get me anything.
And Crap was talking about trying to look at it like positively, and I was doing this like 2 days ago, and I was thinking like it's just insane having a deal with all these exclusives going to another platform. But I was like, what company handles two platforms and then handles it well? And I was thinking like, look at Sony, like they have the mobile division, which is barely existent, and they're handling it pretty poorly. But then I was thinking about like how Phil is talking about PC being where games need to make sense going to PC, and I was looking at Nintendo, how Nintendo has their mobile division and then they have their home console, and they juggle it pretty well because they got games, for example, like Xenoblade Chronicles going on to the 3DS because it makes sense there, and they have the Xenoblade, the new one, whatever it's called, on the home console. So like they're juggling it very well, and they're putting games on each platform based on what complements it. So I believe it can be done, and it can be done very well to where we on the Xbox One, we don't get screwed over. People on the PC don't get screwed over. Both parties can be happy because it's been done time and time again by a certain company. But that's the positive way that I can think about it. But it could also go the way of Sony, where they failed at having two platforms. But Microsoft has had enough experience, crazy R&D, so I'm thinking they might pull it out.
Well,
No,
they
but
see that.
What Microsoft really need to do is give new consumers out there an incentive to buy a console, and I really do think that free Xbox Live and the Groove service, that will be the way to go, because I know a lot of people. I also agree with you, Crap, when they're saying we should get free Xbox Live. It's not fair that the PC guys get it, but I'm not saying we should get it, but then at least like the new consumers out there, people who could be potentially buying this console for Quantum Break, at least like give them that incentive.
Yeah,
I
you know
think
what?
it would
Look,
feel pretty good.
I'm not like being a baby about it. Like, this is the way I think about it. Okay, I've been a sucker, or we've been suckers for as long as we've been playing Xbox Live. When I started paying Xbox Live, that was the only platform that had you do so. But you actually got a really good service for it. Microsoft reinvested that money that we paid to Xbox Live that we have now, 300,000 servers. You know what I mean? It's like state of the art. Sony, I think, didn't really realize that they would be the industry leader the way they are. They just kind of put all their eggs in one basket with that power. Tried, after Microsoft had their reveal, you had Jack Tretton going back there throwing parts out of the box. Oh no, we're not going to include the eye, because they were going to include the eye toy in every one. Obviously, because they wanted to sell. They knew they had this plan for VR a couple years in, and so they wanted everyone to have this thing, right? But once they started going, oh, well, Microsoft is trying to force that on you, blah, 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 we can't look as bad as them. We want to beat them. So they were able to beat the $100 price point by doing that. And I think that not investing into the online service is definitely obvious, right? I mean, every single online multiplayer-focused game that releases on PSN, whether you want to give the blame to Sony or Capcom here, I mean, there's a common theme here. Call of Duty was only down on PS4. Battlefront having problems on PS4. This game, Street Fighter V, problems on PS4. I mean, and here's the funny thing to me, right? That's kind of ridiculous. You had 2 betas for this game on PS4. 2. Both of them had this same problem. Yet they still released the fucking game.
Yeah.
What in the world is going on? And I've been seeing articles that say this is the thinnest quote AAA game ever, or this. You know what I mean? Like, there's so little content here. And then I saw another article about it saying that the way games are reviewed needs to change, because a lot of these big name sites were giving this game an 8, 9 out of 10. Yeah. And there's nothing in the game. I watched Next Gen's review and I'm shocked. No lobbies? You can't even get into a game?
Why do they have these betas? Shout out to Next Gen 722, because Next Gen called this way back, and then he made a couple videos this week about it, reinforcing it. But he said, literally, why are you having beta testing when it's a mano-a-mano fight? It's a 1v1. Usually you want to run and really test your servers when you've got an influx of people all crashing down on one, you know what I mean, really going hard, 24 people in a match, blah, 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 blah. This is just me versus you, Crap. That's all it is. It's not. There's nothing really, bearing down on the servers. Why is it? This is the thing. Nobody revolts, and that's the problem. And this has nothing to do with the recent things. I bring it up before. I've said it. I've done a video on it. Is Xbox people have to stop complaining, because all we do is give the bullets to the Sony people. That's all you're doing. You're like, here's the bullets. Oh, hold on, I'll take care of that. Hold on, I'll put everything in the chamber for you, and I'll put it at my head.
The Barney Fife, we're giving them, they're Barney Fife, and we're giving them a bullet. Yeah,
exactly. Because here's the thing, they have the worst infrastructure. They're taking their $50 a year. Where's their money going? Where's it going? You know where it's going? Into that VR headset that's going to flop. Now it's postponed, by the way. It's been postponed to September or later, and it's probably going to get postponed again. That doesn't look anywhere near ready for the public to get their hands on. Oculus is way ahead of them. And Oculus doesn't even look like it's ready for, consumer support. And they're way ahead. So, I mean, these guys, they're so fucked. Sony's so fucked. Somebody said something to me. They're like, Mooch, you got a point about the PC thing. When Sony's first-party games go to PC, then I'm riding with you on that. And I said, what Sony first-party games? They don't have any. Nothing is out. Don't give me Bloodborne. Bloodborne's just like Quantum Break. It's a third party that's doing it, right? They don't own From Software. Like, they don't own Capcom with Street Fighter V. They don't have any first-party games.
Yeah.
And their first-party games have been just awful. They haven't worked. Drive Club didn't work. What is it, Infamous Second Son?
But apparently, according to the news on M4G today, Drive Club just got its best update ever today.
Wow.
And, yeah, it's like...
much.
2
Well,
years
no,
late.
this is the funny thing though, right? Like, again, I keep seeing, like, I've never heard of, like, that would be like someone showing like a Forza 5 update. Forza 5 got an update today, like, filed it under, who gives a shit? You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
who honestly cares at this point in time? Like, that game, they try to spin it and the media still spins it and gamers try to still spin it because it looks pretty. You know what I mean?
No, it doesn't. Dude. That looks like a rezzed up PlayStation 2 game. The road looks like gray mashed potatoes. That shit looks like absolute.
Well, I
crap.
remember, like, when the rain and stuff got ported into the game again. Like, why are we getting games these days that get big selling point features weeks and months later? Like, to me, I'll never understand that. Like, you didn't want always online consoles, but your games are incomplete. How can you be like, okay, Sony's the White Knight? They didn't want us to do DRM and always online, but you bought Street Fighter V. If you don't have an online connection, you don't get lobbies. You're not getting all the content, the stories, all the characters that you're supposed to get. You're basically always online no matter what anyway. So that argument is just completely.
Yeah, let me just put this out there. If you buy Street Fighter 5 day one, like some of you people have, and you don't have an internet connection at all, you will never get the patches, and you're fucked with that very version.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, and so it's like and I was just thinking, like,
The thing with PlayStation people, they can get their trophies being offline.
What they can do is they could drive to McDonald's and use their Wi-Fi and update.
They can do that. Yeah.
But you can't sync though, Nancy. Like, it's the same thing like with Xbox. If you don't have an online connection, you can't sync your trophies.
So I think it's absolutely crazy because they did give the Xbox community a lot of shit over the always online thing. Now, don't get me wrong, I wasn't a fan of that, but I always have to have internet, so I didn't complain too much. And the thing is that if they don't care for always online, then why is like their best game, Destiny, an always online game, and they don't say a word about it, but then they complain about Titanfall.
Yeah, it's not even their best game. I mean, I have Destiny. You know what I mean? Like on Xbox One, I could get it on PS4 if I wanted to. But it's interesting. Now, Nancy, I saw you took a little bit of heat today for saying something, and here's the thing I want to point out. Like, you were right. You're not wrong.
About which thing? I'm always taking heat.
Well, particularly you were like, well, the Master Chief Collection didn't work online, and I was like, hey, I can completely agree with that. Like, people were getting mad at you for bringing up the comparison. You're right. The Master Chief Collection didn't work online for everybody, and that's unfortunate, very, very unfortunate. And again, it just goes to show that this kind of stuff is kind of unacceptable. Now, what I also said was, the Master Chief Collection was like this Frankenstein of games jumbled up, and they were trying something new, and yeah, it was totally fucked, and they compensated everybody for it, and I thought, okay, good, but it still shouldn't happen. That is the only game I can think of on Microsoft's platforms that had issues, though. In all the time I've been an Xbox Live gamer, right? So you might think maybe one time might be forgivable, and they gave us a free game. They gave us ODST, a month of Xbox Live, in-game stuff, you know what I mean? So, whether or not that doesn't make it right, it's still fucked up. But here we have Street Fighter V, and also Master Chief Collection had no beta, no beta for people. You know what I mean? Maybe they would have known with the strain of it how bad it could have been. So I agree with you, though. Like, why release these games if they're not ready? Street Fighter V, built for this generation, had 2 betas. The exact same problems that plagued the betas are now plaguing it right now. You know what I mean? You're still here, and it's so little content. Why is nobody complaining about games like this and Battlefront that launch with so little content, and they make, you know what I'm saying? Like, to me, we're getting less and less games. I mean, they might as well make everything free to play because, to be honest with you, at least Killer Instinct, which I wasn't a fan of that model at the beginning, but now when you see what's going on with this game, that model looks 100 times better. Don't you agree?
Yeah, and they don't want to.
Killer Instinct is awesome.
Why we're not hearing people talk about it more, is especially like in the industry and media outlets, is because they're afraid of pissing off like their biggest ally, which is the Sony Corporation. So they're not gonna slander them. They're not gonna call them out on the mess. They're not gonna talk about how one of their biggest selling points this year, which is Street Fighter, a legendary title, you shouldn't pick it up because of so-and-so. They're not going to go out there and say these things. So they're going to do things like what IGN did today and come out and make an article saying that all the problems have been fixed when, in fact, they haven't been.
Yeah.
They're not going to go out there and call out Sony. They're not going to call out Capcom since they're partnered up. It's just it's a two-faced type of thing. And the funny thing is that even I could agree that the Master Chief Collection, it was pretty messed up. I mean, but it was such a big deal to the media with those issues. Even when it was like 6 months down the road, they were still complaining about those issues. But now the media, the same day, is trying to say that Street Fighter's fixed. They didn't even have a day go by before they were trying
Here's
to
the thing on the Master Chief Collection, too, even though it's just basically damage control on my part, because let me get it straight, it is fucked up. It should be working. But you still had 4 full games you could have played through campaigns. You know what I mean? That's unmatched value.
And local.
Yeah, now what can you do with Street Fighter while you're waiting for things to work, and why is it so you can't do lobbies, or I guess somebody was saying you can't even pick your character?
Hey guys, in talking about the live thing, we're supposed to have the best online we do, okay?
Yeah.
Online. So we should expect a little bit more. And comparing the two, there is no comparison.
Yeah.
When it comes to the PS4 and online and Xbox on, there is no comparison. But we should expect more because that's why we pay for it. That's what we should expect. We pay more to get better.
Yeah, well, they pay on Sony and they don't get anything.
Yeah, they pay. They've been paying on the Sony platform as well. Like at first, this is what Sony does. Like people. And Xbox did it too. Look, the last few years of Xbox 360's life, we were beta testing the Xbox One, Connect, third-party deals and stuff like that. That's what they were going to try to go for with the Xbox One. After that reveal, they decided to go in a different direction, and now, for whatever reason, they're going in a completely different direction again. Now, the PlayStation, those good folks at Sony were like, hey, let's see if we can make this, we can see how many people we get optionally to pay for PlayStation Network, and then we'll do it next gen. Like, they snuck that in at E3, and nobody batted an eyelash, even though how many PlayStation gamers had if you've ever were a PlayStation 3 gamer and made fun of an Xbox 360 gamer because you had to, quote, pay to play online, and then didn't say a word about PlayStation 4 requiring you to pay to play online, then you're part of the problem, man. You can't call anybody a hypocrite or full of shit or anything because you were part of the problem. You were the ones saying, hey, and I used to hear this all the time on M4G, I'll never pay to play online. If Sony does that, I'll just game on PCs. Oh, that argument sounds fucking familiar. But,
everybody runs the PC. Remember the kid when he was 7 years old in his house and his parents told him to do his chores or something? He's like, I'm running away.
Yeah.
And he grabs his bag. He puts one shirt in it. He gets about to the front door and he's like, I'm not going anywhere. That's the same thing with an adult right now that says I'm going to PC. You're not going anywhere. You're a liar. You're a liar to yourself, and you look like a fool online every time you say something like that. You're not going to PC. If you were going to go to PC, you'd already be there. You'd be like, I am at PC. That's why everyone that says that shit to any of us, or I'm going to PC now, oh, Quantum Break's there, I can go to PC. You're full of shit, dude. The minute you do that, it's great. I actually take a break from work. I sit back, I look at your stupid tweet, and I laugh at it, and I joke, and then I look at it later on when I need a giggle, and I laugh at you again. You're just a joke. It's the most ridiculous thing. Nobody really is going to go to that length to go and do that. And I mean, I'm sorry, Crap, I'm going on a rant right there. But when you said that, it's just funny how you said that that's what people said back then. Isn't it funny that back then is what people are saying right now? It's the same shit, and they lie. The other thing people said was, well, when Sony starts charging for online, I'm leaving Sony, I'm going to Xbox. You're a liar again. You know what I mean? Like, everyone's just full of shit, basically. So that's my whole point. And I think Microsoft knows everybody's full of shit. So what they're going to do is what they feel they want to do. Yes, they're going to give us more service or whatever, blah, blah, blah. You can fill in the blanks however you like or dislike. But no one's going anywhere. Like, there's going to be, like, if you look at the population of gamers on Xbox One consoles, less than 1%, will be going to PC. So it's really irrelevant. They know that, look at, crap, it's such a known fact that no one can argue with me. They're giving the games for free.
Yeah.
Hey, come on.
Hey, I get it, man. Like, look, I'm thinking about it, and look, this is what I'll say about this whole situation. Like, and I'm pretty tired of talking about it, but it's like, people keep asking me, well, what's your bottom line on it? My bottom line is this: it's okay to feel, I guess, like you're labeled selfish if you say you want to keep some exclusives only on the console, right? I think that's stupid to think that, but hey, it is what it is. I think that I am nervous about what they're doing. That could be a good thing or a bad thing. I'm cautiously optimistic about it. I don't think it's the end of the world because, it's console exclusive. Look at Street Fighter. You guys are right. That everybody's talking about that as a PS4 exclusive. You know what I mean? Like, you just see that happen, and it's like everybody's just like, oh, PS4, and that's in everybody's like PS4 exclusive list. No Man's Sky is in that list.
That's right.
All this stuff is in those lists. All those indie games.
All the people that are able to actually play Street Fighter V, when you see any of the Let's Play, they're all playing on PS4.
Yeah.
Nobody's playing on PC. Nobody. And even Wolf, anybody that we know, they're like, well, I went and grabbed that one too. They grab it, they try it, and then they go back to either PS4 or don't play it at all. Like, it's not like anyone's going to be like, oh, honey, yeah, I'll be right there. Yeah, I'll be in the office just playing a little Street Fighter. And
I just want to
do my taxes after that.
I just wanted to get my input on Street Fighter.
We know you're in there playing on that Street Fighter on that PC. Come on now.
Yeah, I know.
Come on, Mooch.
No, that's what Iron Wolf is doing. Iron Wolf, what were you saying? Because you have it on Steam.
Yeah, I was saying that during my time playing the PC version of Street Fighter 5, I only got to play twice online. That second time I played, I got disconnected. The game is broken.
Yeah.
The network coding is completely fucked up. There's no arcade mode. They have a little story mode.
Oh, no, wait, they have no arcade mode?
They already, no arcade mode.
And there's no lobbies.
No lobbies. And what I saw when I was playing the little story, it's just little slideshows.
Damn, do they at least have any music that you can listen to at the menu?
They have music and everything
okay,
like that.
There you go, 9 out of 10.
Oh, yeah.
And I was just going to say, 8 out of 10. I wrote to that Vince guy who rated it on IGN. I said, if you want, we'll forgive you. You can re-review it today. It's broken. And nothing. And he's a wise ass too. So, and I'm shocked he's never blocked me. But he's a wise ass, and he said, whenever I write to him, he's right there back at me. And generally, like I said, we go back and forth a little bit in the semi-professional method. But today, not one chirp, not one beep from him, because he had to have gone into hiding. If I was him, he called up IGN's head editor and said, "I've got the flu, I won't be in," because he did not want to see the shit that went down today.
Yeah, well, let me ask you guys this. Like, do you remember Master Chief, just going back to that real quick, the Master Chief Collection came out, and a lot of people reviewed it, and then it wasn't at the start of people doing reviews in progress because you had to wait until the game was online for games that had online modes. So all these reviews for Street Fighter V came out before they were online. So how do these people review these games? And I'm not talking about me because I'm no rules review, bitch. I'll review games after 2 seconds of playing it if I fucking want. So I'm talking about these professional outlets that that do these things. Like IGNs and GameSpot. How are these people giving these games an 8 out of 10? And this is the thing, right? Gears of War Ultimate, right? That game got one negative point, which was too much A button. I shit you not. That was the only knock. Too much A button. Street Fighter V on the IGN thing, it's like lack of content. It was like, what was it, 2, 3, 4 fucking negatives, and it gets an 8 out of 10?
8 out of 10, though.
Because they don't know what they're doing.
No,
and then you know who called them out? A Forbes article actually said games are broken.
Pro Sony,
The reviews for games are broken. There is no way that a game with that light of content should be $60. No way that game should be 8 out of 10. People should be upset. Now, Mooch, earlier you were like, Xbox guys shouldn't be so upset. I agree. We shouldn't overreact. But it's a fine line because you should be able to express some disappointment or a little, but there is a limit to it, I believe. Like, you got people like this Top Gunner guy who's been going on about 1080p for fucking 2.5 years.
Right.
Time to let it go. You know
Right.
what I mean? Like, I vented, you know, it's been like, what, a week? I'm getting over it. You know what I'm saying? Like eventually we'll move on. You know, Quantum Break will come out. It'll be a smash.
This is the fact, right? The fact is that, you know, Street Fighter 5 will always be the darling of the media. That's just the way it's going to be. And, you know, speaking of Master Chief Collection, you know, as you guys were saying, I could admit it was broken. It was pretty fucked up for like at least 6 months. But at least Microsoft, they made up for it. You know what I mean? They gave you content for free. They compensated you. They gave you free Xbox Live for about, I think, a week or two. They gave you ODST.
They gave
for
you
free.
a month. They gave you everybody a 1 month card.
Yeah, they gave you a code on Xbox Live. I remember I gave that away in a giveaway. But they gave you a game, and they also gave you, I think, 2 maps from Halo 2 Anniversary. I'm not too sure if it was 1 or 2.
And in-game stuff for Halo 5 too. So it was like, you know, they compensated you. And this is the thing, right? Like, I played Master Chief Collection. Me and Mooch played it, and then we stopped playing it because our achievements wouldn't fucking pop. It just said unlock. I still have an achievement on there, a couple that are just like, they say unlocking, right? And they just don't fucking unlock.
Do you think that Capcom or Sony, they're going to make up for Street Fighter 5?
No. You know what? No, hey, Sony is doing this to make up for it. Free multiplayer weekend on PS4 this weekend.
But you can't play with anybody.
Hey, I read that on the cover of Big Whoop magazine, guys. Free multiplayer weekend on PS4 this weekend.
Woo-hoo!
That's what
I'm
I'm talking
excited.
about. Hey, yeah, I know. Hey, Nancy, I know you love your PS4, right?
Of course I do.
Hell yeah, you do. You love that PS4. You love Street Fighter, and you know.
But that's not new. They've been doing that on 360 sometimes. Free Xbox Live for the weekend.
Yeah, that's a good way to get it in, but this seems conspicuous. Like, whenever Sony something bad happens, they always seem to get out of it. You know what I mean? With by doing something like this. You know, like
we're due for a sales figure.
The PS4 is the new Donald
Trump. Mooch. As soon as that hits 40 million, you know we're gonna fucking hear that, right?
Absolutely. It's like Yolanda Vega comes out.
I got a question.
Yeah.
Honestly, really, what is wrong with Street Fighter 5? Come on.
I don't have it. I don't have it.
Look,
No, I considered getting it just because Next Gen had it. I thought it'd be funny for me and him to play each other and then record it, but it's so like broken. You know what I mean? Maybe I'll get it later because I know Tim was thinking.
That's why I said it was a joke because I know it's broken. You know
the PS4 is the new Donald Trump. Like, they can do anything wrong and their numbers still go up.
Oh man, keep it. I'm not touching the political stuff because.
Hey! I'm voting for my man Donald.
I hear you, bro. Just real quick, because I know you got to take off food. Did you guys sign up for your Nintendo accounts?
Yes.
I didn't sign up, but I plan on it. I used to have. I was a big part of the Nintendo Club, and I was a huge fan of that. So I'm definitely going to, though.
Well, this is what is going to link your accounts, right? I mean, like your stuff. So it's pretty important to link everything, right?
Yeah. So it's going to link like your console, your 3DS, your Wii U, your NX Portable, your NX console, your PC, because somehow they're implementing PC into it.
What?
Yeah.
Oh, wait, what? Nintendo and PC?
And your mobile phone.
We're not sure what the PC aspect of it is, but apparently they're
Hold
doing
on,
something.
so this Nintendo account that you're talking about, could you create your own gamer tag and shit?
That's what it's for. It can only be 10 characters, and here's what I'm gonna say. I got mine. I already know somebody got an Angry Joe one. Somebody we know, a big fan of the show.
Yeah.
The problem is you're gonna have people trolling and trying to take names that are already in use. So go get your name. Mine's locked in. I did that to make sure specifically for that. I don't know if that's the reason you got yours, Mooch, but
yeah.
Part
of it.
Can somebody get extra cheese? Somebody lock down extra cheese.
Extra cheese for extra cost. No, but you know what's funny? Jamie Moran's got a tweet out right now, and he's got it here, but I've heard it on other Xbox podcasts, and this is a good point. You know, Call of Duty is that great? Call of Duty is the biggest game every year. We know it's the 800-pound gorilla in the room.
Yeah.
And it still sells so much better on console. So, I mean, and it's available on PC day one. This Nintendo's going to PC. 90% of Sony's exclusives are on PC already. They're all going that way too, guys. I mean, this isn't even to the panel. This is to everybody who has an airwave. It's time to stop complaining about it. PC has always been here. Nothing's different. The only difference is they're actually saying it on stage. Before they said it off stage in a booth. So, Jamie, shout out to you, buddy. Thank you for that.
Yeah, I mean, he's a great guy. He's really funny. He keeps it kind of interesting in perspective. Look, like people were expecting, and like I guess people got upset because I named my video yesterday. It was something like, I guess we got to all sell our Xbox Ones and build PCs because Gears and Forza are going there, right? People were like, fuck you, and I was like, wait, watch the fucking video. Like I'm totally making fun of people who are saying that. I'm not actually saying
you got to remember something, crap. I'm gonna say this. Next Gen does this too. You guys always put very, how do I put this? Interesting, very
clickbait. They're very clickbaity.
The problem is, but you don't understand. 99% of America reads a headline and moves on. So when you guys do that, sometimes, like sometimes I put my hand on my forehead. I'm like, oh God. I'm like, a lot of people aren't going to watch this because they take you literally. They don't realize you're being sarcastic. Like if you read mine, I'll put down like the most. It's to the point how I actually feel or what it is. Because when you do that, don't get me wrong, I know what you're doing, and it may work for people to click on it, but a lot of people just read it and move along. Like I got into an argument one time with a guy who wrote something for Polygon, and me and him went back and forth on a Saturday afternoon for about an hour and a half. And literally, he was like, did you read the article? I said, listen, pal. I said, I'll tell you right now. I told him flat out. I said, I read the headline. I said, the headline's very, very misleading. And I said, I read the first paragraph or two. I said, your fucking article goes on for like 4 or 5 pages. I don't give a shit what you have to say for that long. I'm like, he's like, did you read the article? No, I didn't fucking sit there and read the article, man. Who the fuck reads War and Peace about a video game? So, my point is that what I found out is if you do want to do something short in bold text, make it be what you actually truly feel, because people really don't watch the videos. Because if you look at your crap, you're big into the analytics. If you look at your analytics on YouTube, the average, we have these 2 hour, hour and a half podcasts. The average listener's on for 25 minutes. So if your point's getting proven an hour and 15 minutes in, most people aren't even hearing it.
Yeah. Well, it just like it reminds me of that article. Remember when what the hell was that damn backwards compatible game that came out? It was like and the fucking article headline was like Doritos Crash Course is released for backwards compatibility and a bunch of other junk. Right? I was like, motherfucker, what the fuck is wrong with you, right? And it turned out that the guy was just a fan of that game. And so he was saying that it was like so great and that everything in comparison was shit. And I get it. It was like it was supposed to be that way. It's funny.
I remember that.
And I didn't read the article. I just saw the headline and I flipped out. So I get why people do that.
A few months ago, I made a video called "Why I Hate Xbox," and I had a lot. It was like all done in sarcasm, and I had so many people in the comment section like tell me I'm a Sony fanboy and the PlayStation 4 sucks. I'm like, did you even watch the video? When we all know the answer was no.
No.
But that magic time is here. 9 o'clock is here. I want to thank everybody for letting me come on here, especially you, Crap. It was nice hearing from you again, Nancy and Mooch and Iron Wolf. I hope I see you. Yeah, no problem. I hope I talk to you guys later again next Xbox Nation on Wednesday. Thanks for stopping by, everybody, for watching another show. You guys have a good night.
Keep it Windows, bro.
Windows Box 360.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Anyway, what the hell were we talking about?
We were talking about headlines and one-liners and people.
Yeah. So people were doing that, and I was like, people got really upset, and I'm like, well, listen, it's not really a big deal. Watch it. And then you'll see what I'm talking about. It's like people think that you can, and the same thing. I'll say this: I can, and people expected me to go like, "Oh, are you PS4 now?" I had people messaging me that, "Are you going PS4 now, dude? Are you?" Like PS4 fanboys were messaging me this. Are you going PS4 now, bro? And I'm like, what, dude? You can have a disagreement with something over something, you know what I mean, and not like that doesn't mean you break up, you know what I mean? Like it's just like people do that shit. You can have a disagreement or
people are doing that actually with me and you, Crap, right now, especially me, but you're getting some of the brunt of it too. With soccer cars. Well, people don't understand. Let me reiterate this, okay? First of all, it's been since about last August when it hit the main stage on PS4. My biggest gripe when it got to be about September, October is I said, why is this game where you're hitting a ball left and right, which we've done a million times in a million different sports, a big deal. And I said, because the media is driving this thing down our throats. Because Sony had no exclusives at all for the second, I think it was the second Christmas in a row. They had no first-party exclusives, or nothing really worth, because Drive Club was delayed, Bloodborne was delayed, The Order was delayed, in this case Uncharted was delayed. They didn't have anything. So what do? Well, when you have the media in your pocket, you're like, well, people do seem to like this game. Could you promote the shit out of it and make it seem like a AAA game? And the media was like, yep, we can do that. And the developer kept coming out with stuff. People were buying into it. Don't get me wrong. It was a well-oiled machine, people. So now it comes to Xbox One. And I even said, when people said, hey, it's coming to Xbox One, Mooch, are you going to get it? I said, I don't know. Probably not. Because, to be honest with you, nobody on Xbox One was truly expressing their opinion. Well, as we crept closer and closer and closer to launch day, especially when you get to about 2 weeks ago, I saw a lot of people on my friends list being like, hey, Mooch, I know your stance, but are you going to get this? And I said, well, it's nothing against the game. Again, I said it's the idea that Sony was just boosting this thing as a AAA thing for them because they had nothing else. And the media was like, yeah, soccer cars, woo! And it was like, all right, that's fine. So then it got closer, and I said, well, now I'm looking, and I'm like, wow, a lot of my friends are going to get this. That's fine. So I get the game. It's a fun game, but let me say this, and I'm actually going to do a video on it this weekend, somewhat of a first Mooch review, more like a Mooch's take, to be honest with you, because here's the deal. It's a fun game, people. It really is, but it's fun with your friends. It's not fun to just be like, oh, I got 25 minutes to kill. Let me just play this. Not really. Not unless you're talking to people Like, why would you get excitement over banging the ball left and right? Like Wolf, me and Iron Wolf played last night with, shout out to Tim Dog, Southbound, Rand, Jeremy. We played a lot of it, and it was a lot of fun. But if you take Wolf, Southbound, Tim Dog, Rand, and Jeremy out of it, my excitement drops about 98% because it's just me driving in a circle hitting a ball. So I mean, it is what it is. I'm not saying that it's God's gift to gaming. I think it's a great game. I think you should pick it up. It's definitely a buy as long as you have more than 6 people on your friends list, and you just you know what I mean. And you have a good time with your buddies. It really is a good time. When you play Dying Light to death, right? You've played Halo for. I know some of my friends have been playing Halo for 500-600 hours. I mean, we've all played Destiny until we're making our own quests up. So, you get to a point where you're waiting for something like The Division. Last night, all of a sudden, 5-6 buddies go, hey, Mooch, what are you doing right now? I'm like, nothing. Like, hop on, we'll play some soccer cards. All right, fine, absolutely. You pour yourself a drink, you have a good time. There's nothing wrong with that. It was kind of like, I think Nancy will ride with me on this one, it's like Full House Poker on 360. That was an awesome way to just kill some time with some friends. Play some poker, you had your avatar there at the table, it was kind of funny.
Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah, I definitely do.
My
only thing is that I don't understand why a lot of people who were hating as soon as they said it was coming to the Xbox, they were like, oh, hell no, this, that, and the other. I still don't like the game, okay?
Right.
And I'm not going to be buying a game that you just kick a ball around. I understand you can have fun with your friends, but it just seems
you're right, Nancy.
the fact that it comes, just because it comes to our console, now all of a sudden it's the best thing since sliced bread?
Right.
Come on now. It's not. It's not.
That's where I'm going with this. I want to reinforce what Nancy's saying, is that, do I think you should get it? Yeah. If you got friends, you like to play that kind of game. But to be honest with you, it's not God's gift to gaming. It's really not. It's no big deal. It still is hitting a ball into a net.
And I'll just say something. I reviewed that game. You guys can check it out on my channel. What's interesting is I eat some crow on it. Like, people were like, well, after you guys talked all that shit on it, it's funny because I was playing it since early this morning, like real early, so I could get the review out. And people were messaging me, don't let Mooch know you have that game. I'm like, Mooch has been playing the game since before me. You know what I mean? Like, look, here's the thing. I think that there's a small contingent that was like, oh, fuck that game, it looks stupid, blah, blah, blah. The truth of the matter is it looked like a fairly good arcade-style game, like Summer of Arcade, throwback. It's not like this big, huge game. You can have fun with it. I think it's going to be one of those games that's going to not last a very, very long time. No. So it's best to get in on it early.
We were talking about this just before
this game, I just look at it as just filler. You just pick up and play, and kill off some time, from time to time. That's all it is.
Yeah, like I had fun with it. It's got some easy achievements. I think I got damn near 400 plus achievements on it already.
Yeah.
Your score from it. So yeah, it's like, It's like it's got, you know, they did throw in some extra content. You get some gear skins or some Halo skins or whatever. So
we were talking just before the show started, and this is for the for the audience to pay attention to. If you're one of those people that's like, well, I'll wait till it's $10 or I'll wait. Listen, here's the deal with soccer cars. It's not going to be. It may be around because I mean the developer's going to keep pushing this thing as long as he can. It's a milk machine at this point. But hear me out. If you want to enjoy it basically now, because once the Division comes out in Quantum Break and you reach out to, good luck. Like I just said, you need 2, 3, 4 buddies. We had a bunch of us on last night, and it was a lot of fun. You know what I'm saying? But if you can't get, I don't want to play just with just one buddy playing it too. That's not a lot of fun.
And you don't want to play with randoms online either.
Right, right. So if
fun.
you're not going to get it now, you're not going to get it when the Division comes out. You're not going to get it when Quantum Break comes out, most likely. Because if you do and you try to reach out to your friends, they're going to be like, what are you, crazy? I'm doing the Division right now. I'm not going to go play soccer cars. So my point is you've got 2 or 3 weeks. If you got $20 to burn, go enjoy it. If you don't, I'm not going to give you a shit because you didn't buy it. You know, it's not, this is nothing 5 years from now. They're going to be like, you didn't experience soccer cars? Oh.
Yeah, you know what? I had the people. They were like, "Hey, you're a hypocrite. Hey, welcome to the fucking club." Aren't we all?
Yeah, somebody says that to me. Listen, everybody, just in case you want to take notes on the Mooch's life. When I was a kid, I didn't like fillet of fish. This Friday for Lent, I'm going to McDonald's and getting one. Who's going to heckle me at McDonald's? Nobody. Everyone's entitled to say they didn't care for something. Listen, I'm still telling you the same way I feel. It's an okay game. Yeah. It's a good game. It's nothing you rant and rave about. It's not so. But I tweeted out. I wanted to let my friends know I appreciated hanging out with them. I had a really good time. Yeah. Would I do it again? Absolutely. But it's not.
Yeah, we were talking about doing that too. It was like Southbound messaged me with the fucking soccer car thing, and I was like, all right, yeah. So yeah, like I'm looking forward to playing that. And look, here's the thing. People as a whole are very insecure, no matter who you are. Even like me, like I have all the consoles, but would I play soccer cars on PS4? No. You know, you want to play stuff on your preferred console. I get that. You know what I mean? Look, I'm sure the PS4 owners are going to be happy. They trash talked Rise of the Tomb Raider on Xbox One. I'm sure they'll be happy with it when it goes to PS4. They'll be like, finally, they get to play it on their preferred platform. Great.
I just don't understand why Rocket Cars got Racing Game of the Year.
I agree. It's not a racing game at all. But I will say this about it, right? Like when you see it, I think you have to play it to get the feel. Because like when you see it, you just think, well, I've played plenty of games where kart games or whatever, where they don't handle good. This is a physics-based game, which is really good because there's weightiness to the ball, there's weightiness to the car. You know what I'm saying? They handle well. The game wouldn't be good without that. So I'm going to give credit where credit is due and say they did a good job developing this game. And I did read what the developers say. The guys aren't ponies or anything. In fact, the one guy, I think the community manager or head there, was like, yeah, they're a small team. They did the PS4 one first. They could only do one. Then they did, I think, the PC was first, then PS4, and then Xbox One. And the guy's like, he has an Xbox One. He's on like a 800-day streak where he gets at least one achievement a day. So it's not like they were trying to slight anybody. I understand how it is. And remember, guys, this was why Phil Spencer originally wanted that parity clause. And his exact words were he didn't want Xbox gamers to feel like second-class citizens. Right. But everybody hollered for him to end this, and so that ended up costing. I mean, which one would you rather have? Not have the game or have it later? I mean, it's really, to me, it's no question. You'd just rather have the game. You know, and it sucks when you're a gamer. We just have to deal with the fact that right now the Xbox One is above the Wii U, I mean, but the Wii U is not getting any third-party support. At least the Xbox One is. But in the eyes of a lot of developers, especially small developers, that's why the PS4 gets all these smaller titles and indies first. The Xbox One will eventually get them, but I can see the appeal of putting these games on the PS4 first. Just step back, Mooch, with me. You're a developer. You can only do one version right now. Yeah. Which one are you going to put out first? You're going to put out the PS4 one first just because there's a larger install base, and they've been pushing that shit. You know what I mean?
If I'm an indie?
Yeah.
Well, yeah. Let me tell you why. It's not. It's got nothing to do with the install base. If we're sitting down and having a business meeting, I know for a fact that as an indie, when I go to Sony, I'm going to get wined and dined because they don't have any first-party games. When I go to Microsoft, they're going to hand me off to Chris Charla, and I'll be at ID at Xbox.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that's
You'll have Yoshida high-fiving your ass if you go with Sony.
Absolutely. And don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that Chris Charla and his work, but he's doing is fantastic, by the way. Fantastic. Thanks for the thumbs up, crap. Like literally, I love that. I see that, and all I can see is crap. Like literally, what he's doing is fantastic work at ID at Xbox, so he should be applauded. But what I'm trying to say to you is that literally, you will get wined and dined. Soccer Cars they hit lightning in a bottle when they went to Sony. Sony had no first-party games. There was a lull in their system, and the media is doing two things right now. They're kissing Sony's ass, and if you are an indie developer right now with a halfway decent game, not a great game, if you got a great game, oh boy, my God, you're gonna get like your ass kissed. But like if you're just an okay game, people will promote you in the media because for some reason. And, you know, if you're from New York City or a big city, you'll understand what I mean.
Let's talk about how bad San Francisco people are.
Well, that's where I'm going.
Yes.
Like, literally how, like, there's, like, a pottery district, and there's artsy people. And there's nothing wrong with artsy people, but I'm saying, like, they have this conception of a way, like life is, but the rest of us that punch a clock and go to work every day, we're like, hey, I see what you're saying, but unfortunately, my life doesn't work that way. I'm sorry, I can't wear that multicolored sweater today. You know what I mean? Or like, it just doesn't work that way. But then you got these guys. Why is all the gaming media in San Francisco? Can't we have one office in New York? Not one of you guys, IGN, Polygon, none of you guys want to be over here where news breaks first for crying out loud?
Hey, I'd like an office here in Florida, man.
Florida's fine. I'll settle for Florida. You're over here. My point is this. You got everybody over there that's got this like mentality like, oh, man. Let's just give these people a chance, brah.
Yeah.
Like nobody talks like that over here. You know, people are like, Mooch, you're not fair. You know, they're like, yeah, for sure.
Like totally.
Give the indie a chance, bro.
Wow, like come on,
man. You know, it's like my point is this. That's fine. Why can't we get a chance over here to say how we feel, or how about It's two different worlds, man. It's two different worlds. There's a reason that most big companies have a New York office and a Los Angeles office. There's two trains of thought. There's two different ways people live. And these guys out there, every single publication, every Associated Press for the gaming is somewhere in San Francisco. You know what I mean? Give me a fucking break.
Well, that's just indies in a nutshell, this generation, Mooch. That's the thing.
It is,
if you go with Sony, you're going to get free publication, and you're going to get 15-minute stage time. Who's going to say no to that?
Yeah. I mean, that's
free, by the way. 15 minutes
are
free.
That's right. Nobody gets. You're right, Wolf. You got to understand, crap. Wolf just made a really good point. You're a nobody indie developer, and you get 15 minutes. The guy who's going to make Shenmue 3, if that ever happens, which I think we'll all be dead before that comes out.
It's in our hands, Mooch. Quit joking.
Quit joking. Like, literally, that poor bastard got on stage without 5 minutes of code even produced yet. And they had him up there.
Still picking like an engine and shit. It's like people think that game's coming out next year. Come on.
Come on. The Last Guardian is the same clip from 9 years ago. The Shenmue guy didn't have 5 lines of code done yet.
Kojima's not getting a game out this gen on PS4.
No.
Yeah.
No.
I mean, that shit's just utterly ridiculous.
Well, the word on the street is he hemorrhages money, too.
Crap, I heard you were getting it out, though.
Getting what?
The game out.
Oh, me?
I heard you were taking care of that. I heard you're the developer.
The No Man's Sky developer, when he was crying on stage, when he was doing that demo, people felt sorry for him.
Yeah,
that's why the game's so popular right now.
Well, here's the thing, and I was the one to call this, and people said I was crazy. Sony was using these developers because Sony had a closed-off way of thinking last gen, just like Microsoft, right? If you wanted a game on there, you had to go to them, and they had to publish it, right? That kept the shitty games like I Am Bread off your box, and in the fucking PC world where it belongs with the rest of the scumbags. So basically, what you want is you want a good selection of games. That's why I miss Xbox Live Arcade. Just think how much better the Xbox One would be doing if they had Xbox Live Arcade and still filtered out that bullshit. Who the hell, maybe there's a big contingent that likes Goat Simulator. I tried playing this shit because I got it for free. It's horrible. You're a fucking goat that gets stuck in glitches all the time. How is that fun?
Well, can you explain something to me like I'm 6 years old for a minute, crap, because I'm confused on something. The Xbox Arcade versus the indies that are currently being released, when you say I wish they would bring that back, what was the difference between the two? Because I'm having a hard time distinguishing those with my eyes. The Xbox Arcade to me and on 360 was almost like that niche store at the mall that you wonder how they even pay the rent when you walk by. I don't even know. I never even swung by.
You know what? I don't really know.
Well, just like a lot of people say that. I'm not putting you on the spot, crap. A lot of people on Twitter are like, "Bring back the the Xbox Live Arcade. That was better than what we have now." And I'm like, that was just you. So are we talking about we just want to group the indies in their own little like?
Yeah, well, it's not just indie. Yeah, like put indies in their own thing, and then put just the arcade games. Because look, I have friends who just got an Xbox One. I think I was telling you this before, and they're like, "Hey, crap, I'm looking for like the big games, but everything's just like next to each other." You know what I mean? Like Halo 5's next to Stick It to the Man. You know what I mean? Like they want, if you go on the 360, you can you see, like there's your main games, and then it has a tab for arcade. What's wrong with labeling something an arcade game or an indie game? Like, you know what I mean? Like to me, I don't understand why that would offend people. You know what I mean? Like that's as like important as having folders. Like I would love folders. I have so many games now, I think a folder for 360 titles would be nice. A folder for arcade titles would be nice. You know what I'm saying? Like, once you start getting up there in the hundreds like me, like, you just really want, like, some kind of thing. Like, it's such a pain in the ass because I pin the stuff I use a lot, but I play Smite a lot now, so I'm like, what do I remove on my pin list? So I'm then just like fucking with it, and I'm like, fine, just Xbox go to Smite. Or, like, do that. Like, to me, it's easier just to do that now, but it's like, you're looking for stuff, like there needs to be a little bit less clutter, I guess. Hopefully they can like do some folders and stuff. I think it'd be funny for Xbox to get folders before PlayStation, just because I don't think really many people are asking for it. But I would like the arcade just because. Didn't you guys? I mean, everybody got excited for Summer of Arcade.
Well, we got to play Dreamcast games. You know what I'm saying? Like SNES games, like old school games, retro games. That's why I love it so much. And this time you get achievements for it, man.
Yeah, you get a full 1,000. Like, to me, that's great. I love that.
Nah,
like that.
Yeah, some arcade games are great. Alan Wake, The American Nightmare. That was a great game.
Yeah, that is. But guess what? There's only 200 gamer score on that. Imagine if they could put 1,000 on that.
And that was like a full 5-hour game too.
Yeah. Plus, there's an arcade mode.
Yeah. I just, you know what it is? Whether we call it arcade, we call it this, we call it nostalgic, we call it old games. I guess I'm a little bit more with next gen on this. Like I get excited about new games. Doesn't mean I don't want to go back and play. I really think it's an age thing. The age I'm at, man, what people are calling like those old games, I played those for so many years.
Hubert Remastered, bro.
Yeah, I know, it's coming out. That was a joke we used to have. Remember?
Yeah.
That was a joke we used to say on BGST all the time, and now it's actually coming out. It's almost like people have given up. You've got these 5 or 6 studios working their asses off, putting out amazing AAAs, and then everybody else is just like, let's just make Qbert again, and we'll make it in 1080p. Good idea. Let's go visit Sony. So it's like, it really, that's why when people are like, I'd rather, and don't get me wrong, what you guys just said, at least you gave an answer, which I appreciate. Most people are just like, I don't know, Mooch, send. And it's like, okay, I don't know, why is everybody so excited about this arcade indie, old, nostalgia, 8-bit, 16-bit. To me personally, like, just go to your local mom and pop used game store, buy an old SNES. You can buy an old SNES, 2 controllers, and 18 games for like $30. Get the fuck out of here. Go play that with Uncle Pete, and like just have a good time. Like,
I'd rather get achievements with those retro games, man.
That's true.
I know, that's just me.
I just want to see new stuff. You know what I mean? Or play a little bit of backlog of this generation. I don't know. To me, don't get me wrong. I don't say remove it. Wolf, by no means do I'm saying remove it. You have every right to.
No, but there's a demographic for that, though. There's a lot of retro gamers that want retro
I think there are. I think you're right, and that's something that just like personally I don't see. You know what I mean? Because like I said, for me, I'm blind to it because that retro thing, I lived that. That was my whole life growing up. I cannot fathom being like, I really need to play Qbert next week. Like,
you tell me one day you wouldn't tell your son, oh, by the way, Daddy Mooch used to play this.
Wolf.
And then you download this game.
We literally did that 6 months ago. I went up, I keep everything pristine. I pulled out the NES. I've got about 85 cartridges. Mint condition. Everything's good. My son popped in 2 or 3 games, and he was like, okay, I want to play Call of Duty now on the 360. Like,
I see he's always on Black Ops 2.
Yeah. Like, literally, you don't understand. He thinks it's cool. He's like, that's great, but I could take him to a museum and be like, that's a dinosaur. And he'd be like, that's great. When are we going to eat, Dad? Like, my point is like, you're right, Wolf, and I thought what you thought until I actually showed my kids what we grew up on, and they think the same way when our parents were like, this shit was funny, and you're watching an old sitcom from the 70s, and we're like, no, we'd rather watch Zach Morris and his fucking 9-foot cell phone.
Well,
You know?
it's like so funny because like my folks watched this terrible show called Dark Shadows, right? It's it's got the worst acting, like it does like the close-ups of your face where they got the fake sweat and they're looking around. And it's like the most awful thing, and I always make fun of this shit, right? Yeah. It's like,
but that's what was great.
Yeah, they do. Like that's what happened. You always remember stuff better than it actually was. Now you can still go back. Some stuff holds up well, but for the most part it doesn't, in my opinion. And so it's like one of those situations where you gotta just pick and choose, really. Like, I'm not gonna
ask Wolf though. Wolf, you have an impressive library of games. I know you do. Like, do you how much OG Xbox do you play this in the past 2 weeks? How many hours of OG Xbox have you played?
I played Phantom Dust for about an hour, and that was it.
Okay, now don't get me wrong. First of all, that's way more than I even thought you were going to say.
Yeah.
I thought you were going to say 0.0. But I mean, that's my point. You know, like, you're a nostalgic guy. You like that. I watched your videos. I saw what you have. I know that you and Blazin, by the way, shout out to Blazin Phoenix.
He's alive. He liked one of my videos today.
Blazin is amazing. He's got a great collection of games.
Yeah, and he keeps it Xbox.
I'd love to ask.
Yeah, he's got an impressive collection.
Yeah. He does, doesn't he?
Yeah, and even Nancy too.
I showed off my Xbox One collection a little bit.
Thanks,
I don't have anything near what you guys have, and I'll tell you right now. I mean, I have a lot of the Genesis and NES, SNES. I got that kind of stuff. But once you get to PlayStation 2 and stuff, I hate to say it, but I was just like beating games and then either exchanging them with my friends. I didn't keep them. I've never been a collector. I don't even have like a lot of baseball cards, and that was cool when we were growing up too.
Yeah.
That's just never been my thing. But like I applaud you guys for that. But my point is that since you guys have all those great things, how many hours do we really go back and play them? I mean, I think Crap said it best a few minutes ago when he said, we thought they were better than they were. Like, when I heard Battletoads was going to be in Rare Replay, I was just ecstatic. I was absolutely ecstatic because I played Battletoads. I can't even tell you the amount of hours I put into that as a kid. And then when I got it and I was playing it, and I put in probably, I want to say maybe 8-9 hours I played Battletoads on Rare Replay, just playing it. I had a really good time. But I'm sitting there, and I remember I turned to my wife at one point, and I was like, I can't believe I thought this game was that good when I was a kid, because it didn't age well.
Hey, let's just put it this way: there's only a handful of games from back when we were kids that was good. It's like Sonic, Mario, that's about it. Like, I remember thinking how great some of these games were. I go back and play them. I got a big box full of Genesis stuff and like Nintendo stuff, and it's like, it looks bad. Most of it plays bad. The stuff that holds up well is the 8-bit shit that they're replicating today. You know what I mean? Like again, going back to soccer cards, that's the exception to the rule, right? Yeah. We're not seeing a lot of that. That isn't fun on a level of kind of IDARB. You know what I mean? Like, I usually don't have fun with that, and people think that's hypocritical or whatever. But look, when you're getting just hit with hit after hit after hit of fucking shit indies, right? 99% of these games are trash, right? You just can look on there. It's like you see all the trash we're getting. It's garbage day, basically. Yeah. And that's why I think, like, have you noticed, like, Sony hypes up the indies a lot more than Microsoft. Microsoft will drop 5 indies in a day, and you don't even know that they dropped. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, that's one of the things I like about Microsoft. They're not fucking throwing indies in my face, So it's like, it's the exception, not the rule, and that's fine. We all like what we like, but I play a little bit more retro stuff just because I review it, and even though most of the stuff I already played, like, if I do a retro review, like I did one of Voodoo Vince, like a week or so ago. I had already beat that game when it came out. I played it for about 2 hours just to refresh myself on it before reviewing it. I'm not going to go and beat the game again to get that. You know what I mean? It's like, same thing with, like, I will say a game that I got lost in, which was Crimson Skies. Not the newer one. It was the newest one, right? I just started playing that game. It looks good. It's an original Xbox game. I got lost in that game for about 2 hours. Just like, it was fun. It was cheesy, but it was fun as hell. I'm going to review it. And then another game that I get lost in. So I probably play like retro stuff.
You get lost a lot, don't you?
Yeah, I do. That's always been my thing.
Oh,
You know,
okay.
like when I'm in RPGs or MMOs, I always got to have like my friends play with me because I'm lost. And the running gag is Crap Gamers lost in the Greenlands again because one time I was playing this game and there's this place called the fucking Greenlands and they're like, "Well, Crap, where are you?" I'm like, "I don't know, man, in the Greenlands." And they're like, "What the hell are you doing there? That's like, you're fucking way far away from where we are." You know what I mean? Like I get lost really
I got a
easy.
similar story with the RPGs. It's not that I get lost in them. I get lost in the side missions. Like, for some reason, my mind, I'm so different than everybody else. A lot of people will call me and they're like with Tomb Raider. They're like, I beat Tomb Raider, beat Tomb Raider. I'm like, you've had it for like 3 days. They're like, yeah, I beat it. And I'm like, did you just go through the story? They're like, yeah. Like, I can't even tell you. Like, I do every side mission I could possibly do, which is probably, this is a negative. This is not me boasting myself. It's a negative of mine. I would rather to be the person that went through the story and then went back for the side missions. Instead, I feel like when you get into a new area of any game, I feel like you need to conquer that area. You need to destroy that area, be 100% before you go to the next one. And that's not always the right mentality to have, because a simple game sometimes can take for fuck ever to finish because like you're doing everything.
Oh, I agree 100%. I think that's
There's
how it is.
one thing I just really quickly wanted to talk about. Sorry to change the subject, but
Okay.
Gran Turismo Sport, the beta testing is going to begin in early 2016. We ain't seen no gameplay, which leads me to believe this game is going to look garbage. Because if it
Or
was going to look
delayed.
that good, they would have shown some. That's
Delayed.
what
Well,
I'm
Sony needed to get another game with the Gran Turismo name out there, right? Look, let's be honest. Microsoft is owning it with the Forza name. They have a good setup. You get if you're, and this is the thing. People think that everybody's a Horizon and a motorsport guy. There's people like that, like me, but there's some that only like the motorsport, so they'll get it every other year, or just like the Horizon, which I know a lot of. Like that game is just unbelievable, and they'll get that every other year. So like you get that every other year, and I compare those racing games on the same line as baseball games. Like Sony releases a baseball game every year, but people don't get on them for that. You know what I mean? Like if you're changing the games and they have a couple year cycles, who cares? But yeah, I just think it's interesting. Now, just real quick, because I want to wrap it up. The big Windows event is next week, and there's some rumors going around about what we might get. Like Microsoft, these different Microsoft places are tweeting out stuff and then removing them. One was a new Xbox One controller, just what looks like the standard one, but now has grips on it, which is funny because the insider that messaged me said this long before this came about. So maybe that's some validity to it. And he also had, he's been right with a few things. He said $50 price drop. Here we are, even though it's not official yet. He said 2 consoles. One would end up being $349, one $449. But he said once the $50 price drop hits, it'll be $299 and $399 respectively. He told me the Win 10 event is basically going to be all the games being announced for that are coming to Xbox One, also coming to Windows 10. So, but I have a feeling that we might see some kind of PC streaming to Xbox. To make that a little bit more appealing, I guess. To me, that doesn't matter at all because I don't have any games on PC, so it's like big whoop. You know what I mean? I mean, what is your guys' thoughts on what we might see? Is it going to be anything decent for Xbox gamers, or is it just going to be PC gamers getting the benefits here?
We may get get some dates. Like they may give a date for Recall, maybe. They may even announce Forza Horizon 3 over there. You never know. I think they're going to announce Forza 6 for PC. Halo 5 could possibly be announced for PC for a September-October date.
Yeah.
They may show Halo Wars 2 since that's cross-play between Xbox One and Windows 10.
Maybe a little Fable Legends.
Yeah, maybe a little bit of Fable Legends.
I mean, we need some, how about a release date for Killer Instinct Season 3?
I think they're going to give a solid date for Killing.
Are we going to get? Are we going to get
in March sometime, right?
2 characters, or are we going to get more than 2 to start with, or?
I think we'll get 4.
Okay, I'm down with 4. You know what I mean?
I don't know much about Killer Instinct.
They'll add 1 every month. Every additional month.
Did you, Mooch? Did you download the free version of Killer Instinct?
I did. I didn't. And here's the thing. Again, this goes back to what we said a while ago. It doesn't matter. When Xbox gives away a free game, this is me. I don't go and just grab. I'm just not a fight. I loved, when I say loved, there's no way anybody ever can believe how many hours I put into Street Fighter 2 and Mortal Kombat. And I played those games so much, especially when they came out on the SNES. And I know that everyone said the Genesis one was better because they had blood. I get it. But, like, literally, after that era, I mean, I was kind of done with it, and I just never went back. And I watch, like, when Next Gen's like, yo, tune in, I'm going to be fighting so-and-so on that. It is funny to watch the live stream because he's entertaining as hell. But, like, at the same time, it's not my cup of tea. So I didn't grab it because right now I would have taken up whatever it was. It probably wasn't even that many gigs, but whatever it took up, I wouldn't be playing it, you know. And all the people that I play, my circle of friends that I game with at night, they're not into that either. So it's like I just would never use it. But I think it was a great giveaway. It's definitely a AAA status.
Yeah, I mean, I just it's a really good game. I mean, if you're not into fighting games, you're
So
not
how
into
many
them.
characters did we get in season 2 from the beginning?
There's 9. There's 9 each in each season.
So then they add additional character every month after that, right? Until the year ended, the season ended.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Wasn't it like 2 a month or something?
Nah, I think it was 1 every month.
I hope we get the Arbiter early on.
I hope we get Arbiter day 1, but I highly doubt it.
You don't think so?
But this is the thing. This is what Microsoft really need to do is capitalize on the Street Fighter 5 clusterfuck, and promote KI Season 3.
Yeah.
I hope they do. Yeah, I definitely hope they do.
They should brag about their network coding. It's on point. You're not gonna get you're not gonna get disconnected. It's got a dedicated server, something that Street Fighter 5 don't even have. They're using peer-to-peer. This is
how are they having so much problem with peer-to-peer?
Don't know.
How? I don't get it. But anyway, Mooch, do you have anything that you want to plug? I know you're going to be...
Yeah,
Crossfire.
I got Crossfire, and actually a really great treat. I want to announce it here, and I'll be tweeting it out. I'm just working out the kinks, but I am going to be doing a live stream of soccer cards with the one and only Major Nelson this week. I'm setting up my Twitch channel. I'll be having it on there. Just funny because I've been shooting the breeze with Larry back and forth on Twitter, and then it finally came to fruition where he said, yeah, why not? Let's do it. So that's pretty cool. So I'll be definitely very vocal on Twitter about when and how to see it on my Twitch channel. But that'll be later on this week, and then Crossfire will be Friday night on my YouTube channel. So I appreciate it. Thanks, Crap.
All right. What about you, Iron Wolf? Anything?
Just keep it Xbox, and regardless of where Quantum Break goes, just support the game. That's all I'm going to say.
Okay. It looks great, by the way. I mean, the game looks awesome. What about you, Nancy? Anything?
You know I always want to do something, Crap.
She want to do shout-outs. Hey, what up, Jordan? What up, Wolf?
Why do you always got to fuck with me? Every time I want to say something with somebody. These motherfuckers support me every day. They fight for me when people fuck with me. So if I want to shout them out, I can.
Their money.
First of all, no, I also want to do some happy birthdays to some people that follow me and that know about you guys because I tell them.
Okay.
King Rinko, listen, you got me even talking fucked up. See that? Crap, I'm going to tell you something. I'm going to come down to Florida one day and kick you square right in your ass. Happy birthday to King Rico and the Platinum Hunters. And yes, I want to do some shout outs to What's Up G, Justin Lewis, Taz, Joshua Gaming, PSM Jordan, Foxfire, True Gamer, and of course I got to do the shout out to my boy Next Gen 720.
Keep it Next Gen 720. Yeah, what's up everybody in the chat box? How you guys doing? You guys been behaving?
They're always behaving.
They are behaving. I seen some nasty shit going on in there. I did, man. They kiss their moms with that shit. I mean, come on, man. That stuff's not right.
Yeah, I may stream some rocket cars, so be sure to tune into that.
Hey, Mooch, if you're streaming that shit with Major Nelson and need a partner, man, let me know, man.
I will actually. I want to get a bunch of us to do it. I want to see us. I've really done very little broadcasting on Twitch through the Xbox, so I'm pretty excited to try this. And I do want to do a few. Crap, we got to do a versus, me and you.
I actually do it all the time on through the Xbox on Twitch.
You know that's a good point though, Nancy. Because I have a question then. Because if you're doing it, I used to see back in the day when we had the old UI, it used to always say so and so is broadcasting. Now I see it once in a while. But I don't see it nearly like I used to. Is that still an option? Does that still pop up? I have all notifications.
I don't see it. Some people say they see me up there, and well, they all find me because they say they know when I'm twitching, because certain people even have an alarm when they know I'm going to twitch. They on their system, on their Xbox, somehow they have an alarm that says, okay, she's on, and they come and join.
Okay.
So there's got to be a way that they know.
It enables it. If you follow somebody's Twitch thing, then it alerts you on your.
It's not only that. If you add, if you're somebody's favorite on Xbox Live, every time you do a Twitch stream, they get a notification.
That's what I thought. Wolf's saying. I thought when you have a favorite listed, that when that person then does it, because when you favorite somebody, you're basically telling the Xbox that you agree to see all of basically their actions, any public actions they're doing.
Right.
So, and a broadcast would be one of the. Okay, I got a double. Either maybe less people are just broadcasting. Maybe that's.
Hey, I want to point out something. Jamie Moran just tweeted this. He said Alan Wake 2 ? Because it's a book that's open with the Xbox One controller in it. That would be weird though. How would they get Alan Wake since Remedy's doing this?
Well,
I mean,
here's the thing. So Quantum Break's done. Okay. And they're giving away Alan Wake. And it's basically, to be honest with you, Alan Wake 2 is no longer a rumor. I mean, I think the developers come out and said, yes, we're doing something with that.
Yeah.
So maybe what Jamie's referring to with this here is Alan Wake 2 coming to Xbox One, Windows 10 exclusive, or something of that nature.
Well, I would assume Microsoft has the publishing rights. Hey, all forgiven, Microsoft, get Alan Wake out there.
Oh God, yeah.
And maybe they. Maybe they fractured off the team a bit and had some people working on Alan Wake 2. I mean, you never know. You could have had a handful of people working on Alan Wake 2 at the same time. I'm just saying.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Like,
there was some leaked gameplay footage of Alan Wake 2.
I remember that. Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, it looked pretty good stuff. Like Alan Wake, I took some pictures and shared them on Xbox Live. The American Nightmare. Yeah. Still some of that lighting and stuff, and that looks really good still. You know what I mean? So
really
I think that, yeah. So anyway, man, we'll catch you guys on like Crossfire.
Oh, crap. Before I forgot to tell you, you also had another guest on your show you didn't even know about.
Who's that?
My turtle.
Oh, your turtle. What's your turtle's name again?
Taz.
Taz. Okay. Yeah, you did shout it out. What up, Taz?
Too. I had to make sure he didn't pull out my mic.
Yeah, I hear you. There's a pet turtle here too, but it's a snapping turtle. You can't fuck with it.
Oh, I wouldn't. No, I don't mess with snapping turtles. No.
Yeah, I think that's kind of mean. That's kind of mean. But anyway, we'll catch you guys next week. Thanks for watching, and keep it Xbox. Win 10 fam for life. Later.